All that to come, but first, the news with Helen.
Thanks very much, John. Good morning. A 10-year-old girl and a 36-year-old woman have died from suspected carbon monoxide poisoning on a boat in the Lake District. A man has also been taken to hospital. Well, Nick Dixon is live for us at Lake Windermere. Nick, more details emerging, I gather, of how this could have happened.
Yes, morning to you. There is a suggestion this morning that there may well have been some kind of faulty equipment or machinery on board the boat that the three people have used. That's not been confirmed just yet. The police were called out initially around about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon after reports that the three on the boat just at the jetty here were suffering severe breathing difficulties. Now, they were receiving treatment at the scene here by paramedics. They were airlifted to hospital as well. The pictures that you're going to see just now are filmed by a tourist who just happened to be here at the time and saw everything that was going on. Sadly, the 36-year-old woman and her 10-year-old, believed to be her daughter, later died. Now, the speculation at the moment is that they died of suspected carbon monoxide poisoning, though that hasn't been confirmed just yet. A man was also taken to hospital. He's still receiving treatment. As I said, this was all taking place on a very busy bank holiday, Easter Monday. Lots of tourists here just sitting by the lake, enjoying the day, and of course they could see everything that was happening.
The medics worked really professionally. They were trying to get them off as quickly as possible. They sent one person off almost pretty much straight away, immediately when the helicopter came, and then they had to wait for it to come and do its second and third trip for the other two people. But I'm just sad about what the outcome's been.
As I said, the speculation this morning is that there may well have been a faulty generator on board the boat that the three people were using that may have caused some kind of leak, but that hasn't been confirmed by the police just yet.
Nick, thanks very much. George Osborne will defend the changes to the tax and benefits system in a speech later this morning, insisting that 9 out of 10 working households will actually be better off. With Sue Jameson's at Westminster for us. Sue, the Chancellor clearly not planning to mince his words this morning, but a tough job ahead, one would have thought.
Yeah, I think we're getting them very much in raw chunk form and given no chance at all to misunderstand what he's going to say, which is that the current system is broken, difficult decisions have to be made so that in the end work pays. And he does have the air of a man a bit frustrated that he's perhaps being blamed for everything at the moment. So his message is going to be that he can't help everyone when the nation's piggy bank barely rattles. For George Osborne, the road to a fairer Britain is the difference between right and wrong. In an uncompromising speech, he's defending the changes to welfare, saying the country can't keep rewarding those who do the wrong thing, while those who do the right thing, working hard to get on in life, are penalised.
Our benefit system has to be that safety net. It has to be helping those people who are vulnerable, who have fallen off tough times. But it can't be a long-term alternative to being in work.
Saying the vast majority of people will be better off under the changes, he's also hitting back at his critics, who he says complain with depressingly predictable outrage. Maria is one of those trying to do the right thing, but she's certain she'll be worse off after the changes.
My mum and her generation survived World War II on rationing drastically food and heating, and that's what people in my situation are going to have to do.
Meanwhile, an online petition has attracted more than 100,000 supporters for Work and Pensions Minister Ian Duncan-Smith to make good his statement that he could live on £53 a week if he had to.
Michael Jackson's family is suing his tour promoters, AEG Live, for a staggering £26 billion for lost earnings and damages. Two of Jackson's children are also set to give evidence about the singer's final days before his death. Well, Ross King's live for us in Los Angeles. Ross, it sounds like it's going to be an explosive case.
Certainly very explosive and certainly possibly quite expensive too. Good morning, Helen. It's a civil trial and not a criminal trial, and that's one that begins later today here in Los Angeles. Michael's mother, Catherine, on behalf of herself and Michael's children, claims that concert promoter AEG Live were negligent in the hiring and the supervision of Dr. Conrad Murray. He's the man who was convicted by a jury of involuntary manslaughter back in 2011 over the death of Michael Jackson. Now, AEG contend that Murray was chosen and employed by Jackson and that the company was unaware he was a danger to the star. Now, Michael Jackson's children, Paris and Prince, may be called to testify. The trial itself is expected to last up to 3 months, and should AEG lose, it could cost them up to £26 million.
Ross, thank you. Legal aid for married couples who want to get a divorce is to be cut from today. An estimated 200,000 people in England and Wales will miss out on funding for family law matters, including child custody cases. It's to try and save the Treasury hundreds of millions of pounds. Dozens of firefighters and police are tackling a 3-mile-long wildfire in the Scottish Highlands. The blaze has engulfed land near to homes north of Fort William. The fire service have said the wind is blowing smoke towards the town, but no buildings are alight or have been evacuated. There's been more backlash against the appointment of Paolo Di Canio as the new Sunderland manager today. The Italian, who's never hidden his fascist beliefs, has prompted a group of Durham miners to ask for their historic pit banner back. The Monk Wearmouth miners donated it to the club after the pit closed. Time now, 6 minutes past 8, so it's back to Kate and John.
Thanks very much indeed. We've had an absolutely massive response to our item on the cuts, or reforms as the government will call them, into benefit cuts, and the claim by Ian Duncan-Smith that he could live on £53 a week. Some quite hard line. Carol in Glasgow, remember, this is money for doing nothing, she's texted to say. People on benefits should be grateful for anything. This is only meant to be enough to survive until you get a job, not a lifetime benefit.
Although many point out that they're claiming benefits because they are working very hard, but the salaries aren't enough, so they're having benefits to support them in that. So it's not just that they're totally not working. And in Cardiff in the 80s, I had to live on £53 a week with 2 young children. That was the 80s and I couldn't manage it. Ian Duncan-Smith has no idea at all. He's never really struggled. And
Sharon finally said, yes, it's going to be hard for people whose benefits have been cut, but it's hard for families when both are in full-time work as well. I'm glad to see the changes being made. So thanks very much indeed for all the opinions on that controversial issue. Right now, the news, the weather and the travel where you're waking up.